All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is, of course, General Greene. God bless you. It is a beautiful day. Jesus Christ is Lord. So we're going to talk about the imminent event in Taiwan. There's a massive, massive event that China is planning. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do in regards to the markets, crypto, as we lead into Trump's big day, January 20th, what I'm doing, how I'm positioning to pivot, leverage, and profit. But first, got to come clean. It's been a lot of you kind of exposing me recently. A lot of comments in the comment section. People saying things like I don't own that green Lamborghini that I showed you guys on camera a couple days ago with my son. And I've got to come clean. You called me out. The truth is, I don't. I don't own that $300,000 General Greene, lime green Lamborghini at all. I don't own any of it. God does. God does. God owns this. God owns this. And I have to come clean. I don't own this $100,000 Rolex that only myself and Michael Jordan and a few hundred other people in the world own. I don't own any of it. God does. And that's the point. You catching a trend here? I don't own any of this here. God does. We're building kingdom wealth, ladies and gentlemen. People say things like the general and his dad and his islandproject.com members don't own a multi-billion-dollar portfolio of beach and oceanfront condos. And they're right. We don't. God does, ladies and gentlemen. You catching a trend here? This is kingdom wealth. God owns all of this. God is in charge of all of our lives. And it's time to put the pedal to the metal and press the freaking ignition and send this into sport mode. And I'm making a point, ladies and gentlemen. We don't own any of this. That's the point of what we do. We are building generational kingdom wealth in the glory of God. We are the Christian baller freaking billionaires, ladies and gentlemen. We are the badasses fighting the deep state and BlackRock on your behalf. God's doing all this. For example, people will say things like, Christopher, I'm big on the Second Amendment. And, I carry all the time on my right hip. But the truth be told is I don't even need that because God will defend me. God will defend you. God will protect you. And so who's driving this Lamborghini right now? It's not me. It's God. See, when you wake up to this, when you wake up to the fact that you're actually not in charge, but that you are his vessel for glorification, your life changes. See, a lot of you are just thinking broke, and I'm going to get to the geopolitics. You're thinking broke mindset. You're doing the same things, the same gosh darn things everyone else is doing, and you're thinking small. But people like me, instead of just thinking, are taking 1000x action. We are making 1000x moves. While the general population, for years, has said things like, well, Bitcoin's a scam and the governments aren't going to allow it. Eric Trump and Donald Trump are now saying, his sons, that Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million.
I can tell you, a lot of eyes were opened when Bitcoin hit 100,000. And I can tell you a hell of a lot more eyes are going to be opened when Bitcoin hits 1 million.
I met a gentleman the other day. He's somewhat of a family kind of close associate. I told him about Bitcoin under 1,000. He's a very rich person. And he said, Christopher, I should have listened to you, bro. I should have listened to you on Bitcoin. And this was a couple months ago. I said, hey, it's still not too late. He said, I believe you. Now Bitcoin's trading at 100K. It's going to go to 125K by year end. So what is my point here? So many of you are thinking small. So many of you are listening to the crowd. So many of you self-doubt yourself. You don't even think you could do this. You don't even think you deserve success. You don't even think that you deserve salvation. You don't. That's the point. We don't deserve any of this. But we live in a very dark world. We live in a world of sin. We live in a world where people are worshiping the wrong thing. where people aren't taking enough action, where they have their heads, in my opinion, buried in the sand, where they're turning the other cheek, while the deep state and these very evil people have their way with them and they're complying. And my point is, you shouldn't be complying at all, ladies and gentlemen. Do not comply. So let's talk about the major world events. We are clearly in World War III, which is what I predicted. Clearly. We saw the huge conflagration in Syria. That just went down. Bashar al-Assad has been thrown out in a coup. He has been taken out of Syria. That is a CIA, Mossad operation, clearly. That sudden event is a brokered peace deal, I believe, that's been negotiated by NATO, Putin, and Iran. So it's not like they were caught off guard. No, that was the chess piece they were going to give, because guess what's going to happen next? My major prediction I've been predicting for several freaking years. That is, China is about to attack Taiwan. China will take out Taiwan imminently now, because that was the trade-off. That was the freaking move, baby. And so again, we haven't gotten anything wrong. Everything's playing out to a T, just like we said. Everything is going according to plan. And yeah, for the haters out there, you're right. I don't own this stuff. God does. That's the point. That's what I'm showing you. These are tools. So what we're living through is a massive economic, financial collapse. We are living through the greatest wealth transfer in world history. Most people don't own Bitcoin. I mean, they still think it's a freaking scam, even though they're now being bought in ETFs, for crying out loud. And we are now entering geopolitical World War III conflict. Putin and Iran made a deal to give up Assad and give up Syria, which is very strategic and a huge win for Israel in trade-off for China's attack on Taiwan. What does this mean for you tuning in? Well, again, I told you all bets are off when Trump gets in on January 20th. That's actually, I think, a sell the news event. In the meantime, pivot, leverage, profit. This is the greatest bull run we've ever seen in crypto. We're going to see prices go much, much higher. I've been buying a lot more. Yesterday, today, huge buying opportunities. We're seeing some consolidation, a lot of volatility. Ethereum's going to hit new all-time highs. I've got my video as promised that will be released at school very, very soon. I've been working on it. I'm giving 3 new picks you've never heard of that can minimum 10x, in my opinion. I've say not financial advice, and some other really amazing updates. And I'm about to catch a jet because my father and I are buying more real estate along with my members. Again, God is in charge. You're not. I'm not. This is what you need to understand. You need to have a little faith. You know, a lot of people say they have faith, but not really. You don't really believe in yourself. You don't think that you can make $1 million. You've bought the freaking scam of retirement. You think, for example, that someday when you're 80, old and gray, you'll finally go take that European vacation. Many of you won't even make it out alive past your 30s or 40s. You do understand that, right? You're being sold a lie. You're being sold a freaking scam. Live large now and boldly in service to Christ and do big things along with us. I mean, stop waiting around. Why would you be waiting to live? Why would you lack so much faith that you are waiting for a better day? God's got you right where he wants you, baby. He's got you right where he needs you. He's got big plans for you. I don't even care if you're going through obstacles and struggles right now. We all have obstacles and struggles. Yeah, I say it all the time, but the difference between the amateur and the professionals, the professional has the same darn problems as the amateur, but the professional doesn't complain about it. The professional overcomes. The professional finds solutions. The professional is always looking for opportunities while the amateur complains. While the amateur can't figure it out, while the amateur takes zero action, while the amateur plays a victim, while the amateur blames someone else. We see this all the time. You see it with people around you. They blame their own lack of success and their own faults on the rest of everybody else in the world. Yeah, the world isn't fair. It's not. And see, that's the strategic advantage. The strategic advantage is most people are making small little moves. Most people aren't buying the egregious $300,000 Lamborghini or Ferrari. I mean, most normal people would never own this. It's ridiculous, dude. 300K in Bitcoin came out of my Bitcoin wallet to buy this out of Texas. Great Patriot dealership. I only buy from Patriots, but most people would never buy that because they're thinking small. But what you don't realize is this Lamborghini will literally make me $10 million. See, this is what you guys don't understand about making money. When you get money, you want to spend the money. You want to put it into investments. You want to put it into assets that actually appreciate. This Rolex is already up 40% since I bought it a few months ago. Bought it retail and it trades double on the secondary market because me and Michael Jordan are the only people that own it. You're buying crappy watches that are degrading in value, that are deflating. You're holding on to worthless trash US dollars when you could have been buying Bitcoin along with me and getting rich. You're not buying real estate, creating cash flows, large capital gains with Island Project with no bank debt because you're thinking small. You're not being tokenized on the digital Noah's Ark because you're acting weak. And by the way, now we're closing out. Perfect timing too. Now that the World War III is kicked off, here we have this stable, no downside, no bank debt, cash flow, capital gains producing asset, best locations of the world. You get time based on your tiers, 150, 250, 500, all the way up to 1,000 units. You're a part of a Christian ecosystem. I mean, how cool is that, ladies and gentlemen? And it's just getting started. I mean, we're in a multi-trillion-dollar asset now that even the Trumps are saying is going to $1 million. I've told you this for years. My dad and I are the digital Trumps of tokenized real estate. We're the first guys to get in. My members own the proprietary intellectual capital rights and patents on our world-class real estate tokenization and blockchain technology. You do understand what we've done is the biggest thing in the freaking world, and it's closing, and so many of you are gonna miss it if you don't take action now. Now, I've mentioned to all of you that we have to raise the minimums now. I can't do anything more for you, so it's literally your last day to get in at 30K. I have several individuals coming in with Bitcoin this afternoon. I've had 5 different people hit the 1,000-unit tiers very recently. God bless you. You know, my big ballers, you should be taking profits in Bitcoin. XRP, as I've been advising, especially as we're hitting new all-time highs. Okay? Because this is where it's all going to go, because the gloves are going to come off as soon as Trump gets in. As soon as Trump gets in, guys, I've been telling you this. I predicted this. I told you that the geopolitical World War III, that Syria, Lebanon, Iran, Gaza, Israel, the list goes on and on. They're going to send America into an economic stock market crash next. And they're absolutely going to destroy America's bank accounts and rip all you off again like 2008 and 09. We have just entered the pre-mania phase in blockchain. Okay, it just got started. But this is the pre-mania, like kind of bubble-licious phase. That's why I'm telling you to take some profits, for crying out loud. You need to put your money in the safest investment in the world with no bank debt. You need to start buying high-performing assets. Now again, cars, when you buy high-end cars, they actually do hold value. If you buy $1 million Ferrari, for example, that's exotic and unique, it's gonna hold its value. It's gonna make you money. There's no other car like this, by the way, in the world. It's been customized for General Greene. Look at all the trim. I even got Greene freaking seat belts. Okay, and the custom lime green Island Project. Like, again, guys, you're thinking too small. You're thinking weak. This is why 20-year-olds invested in memes have net worths that far surpass most baby boomers, and they own freaking Pepe the Frog or Fart Coin, for crying out loud. Because they're not thinking too tough. They're not thinking weak. They're thinking up only. Because again, guys, your life isn't guaranteed. The day tomorrow, the breath in your lungs isn't guaranteed. There's no guarantee you wake up tomorrow. There's no guarantee you're ever going to be able to retire. There's no guarantee that your bank doesn't collapse in the coming months, which it's going to do. Capital controls, bank freaking runs are coming. All of this is coming to the American public. World War III, conscription of your children to the world wars. Benjamin Netanyahu is actually facing corruption charges. He'll be standing trial later today after, dropping BOMBs all over Syria and taking the land that he wants to build the greater Israel. None of this is a coincidence. It's all chess moves. Again, Putin and Iran gave Syria to NATO because now China, the larger player, is going to take Taiwan by force, which I always predicted. It's always been obvious. And so again, do I own all these things, as the critics like to say? No. God does. And it's a freaking secret to my success, and it's why the rest of the world can't compete with people like me or my father. Because the billionaire mindset, man, almost no one thinks that way. Trump does. Trump does. That's why he's admired. The people that you admire think that way. Elon Musk thinks in domination mode. That's why he's a winner. You should be too. You know, stop letting yourself down in your own life and freaking roll, baby. Go freaking big. Go freaking big today. And I'm telling you, here's why I'm pumping you up too. Last chance. It is your last chance to get an island project. It's your last chance to get our 1000X token launch. It is your last chance to make millions of dollars with us. You will miss the 30K minimum opportunity. You're going to miss hitting tiers when you need to be hitting tiers. You're going to miss crypto education. You're going to miss my videos at school. You're not going to act soon enough. You're going to miss the freaking pumps. You're going to miss the 30, 50, 100Xs, the 1000Xs, just like most of you missed everything else. Google stock, Amazon stock, Tesla, I've been saying this for years, Apple computers, Bitcoin, the list goes on and on, XRP, you've missed all of it. Because people like me were taking big, bold action, buying what the elites told you was a scam, believing in God, having full faith, trusting in his governance and leadership, always purchasing the 300K Lambo, always going all in, multi-billion-dollar real estate, paying all Bitcoin for it, no bank debt, always going large, always pushing and fighting for what it is that you need to do for your big accomplishments. While others, are thinking like the world. They're thinking like their teacher instructed them, who's broke at their Ivy League school. They're taking advice from someone who doesn't even live the life that they want to live. They're listening to authority figures that can't think for themselves. They're literally doing the opposite of what you should be doing at any given moment. So anyways, guys, God bless you. Picking up a friend. Another great day. I love you. God bless you. Click the links below. I want to see an island project. Call my dad at 808-442-2934. That's 808-442-2934. Last chance to roll over those 401ks and IRAs. Get in, guys. Get in. The opportunity is now, and you're going to miss it. Links below. God bless. Jesus Christ is King.